Hey guys, you got the Dudeman with you once again, and I'm here to do a very short video on the Boss wireless guitar system, and this one happens to be right here. It's a WL-20L, and if this is what you're thinking about buying, then check out this video before you go ahead and buy it. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Real quick, let's do it. Come on! Okay guys, here we go. This is what you got in the box. This is your transmitter. This gets plugged into your amp, or if you got a pedal board, you can also plug it directly to the input of your pedal board. So plug it into the input and you could transmit your signal that way. This is the transmitter. This goes into your bass. Okay, so that's pretty simple right there. Now, to sync these two together, you have a port here in the receiver. Plug the transmitter into there, and they're going to start linking up. Pretty easy, okay? And that usually takes just a few seconds, and they'll link up. Now, when it's time to charge them, you have a charging port right here on your transmitter. Can you see that? Well, maybe you can see it now. Okay. And then you got one on here, your receiver. So you can plug into, you could charge either one at a time, or a nice feature is you can plug your transmitter into the receiver. Now they're going to be charging up at the same time. There's a yellow light now, it's flashing, it's charging, and when they're all charged up, it'll be green. Okay, so that's a good thing. When you first hook them up to your system, they tell you don't have the amplifier on, because when you go to plug these in, it could pop and, you know, damage your speakers or something like that. So just leave the amplifier off, plug these in, let them hook up, and you could turn your amp on pretty quick. All right, doesn't take long at all. Okay, so when you first plug these in and they sync up, they're going to go through about a 10-second process, and they're going to scan the area that you're in to find the best wireless signal band where you won't get a lot of interference, and that's a really nice feature on them. Okay, now I'm here with my Ibanez SR700 bass, and I wanted to show you why I couldn't use this system with this particular bass. And if you have any Ibanez SR series bass instrument, you probably won't be able to use it either without a little modification to your bass. And this wasn't a real expensive bass. It looks beautiful, and it is, but I bought it used and I didn't spend a lot of money on it. So I wasn't too worried about making a minor modification to this. So I'm going to do a close-up on this and show you what the problem is. 100 bass. Okay, so here's my Ibanez SR700 bass. Obviously, this is your input. This is your Boss transmitter that goes in the input. Now, typically when you go to push it in, it's going to get almost all the way in, and you're wondering why you don't have a signal. Well, right in this area here on both sides, it hits. And let me take this out and show you exactly where. It hits right here on this side and right here on this side. Now, SR series basses, Ibanez SR series basses are a very, very popular instrument. They've made thousands of them. Boss should have done a little more research on things like this. But what I ended up doing, because I really use this bass a lot and it's a good backup bass for live, what I did was I got a little grinder and just routed out the edges just a little bit. It didn't take much, it didn't take a long time, and it left, you know, a little sand marks on each side. So what I did is I just took a Sharpie and I ran a Sharpie around the whole edge so it wouldn't be so noticeable. Now when I go to push it in, it goes right in, light comes on, It works, no problem. But you do need to know about this, because if you have this type of instrument, you might end up not wanting to do that type of modification to your instrument, and you know, you end up returning the wireless system. So there you have it. Okay, guys, so that's one problem, the routing out over here on the input that you might have to do. So it wasn't a big deal for me. It wasn't a deal killer for me. I originally bought the wireless system because a friend of mine came over to jam over here at Studio X Music, and he had some kind of cheap wireless system. It might have been this one. It probably was. I don't know. I wish I asked him, but he really liked his. And I like the fact that you know, it kind of frees you up. You're not worried about a chord. You're not worried about tripping over a chord. And I have, maybe I'm a little clumsy, you know, but I've tripped over my chords. You know, I'm on stage setting up, or in rehearsals setting up, running chords, walking back and forth. You forget. And I've knocked over instruments from time to time, and I had a Fender Precision where the thing hit the ground. The only damage it did was it bent the tuning machines, but that's still not a cheap fix. You know, you don't want to bend up your tuning machines or anything. You don't want to do any damage. I have my most expensive bass now is around a $3,000 instrument, and I do not want to get that thing scratched from knocking it over or damaged in other ways. So that's one reason why I wanted to get a wireless system. The other thing is I thought it would be pretty cool for live playing. Now, with that being said, another good thing about the wireless system, the Boss, is I noticed no latency. And if you're not familiar with the term latency, that's a term I learned from recording. And sometimes when you record, I believe the word latency comes from late. So when you hit a note, sometimes it takes a millisecond or a split second or even a full second to come back to you. That's latency, okay? Now when you're playing with this wireless system, I didn't notice any latency at all. I mean, I would play the note and you'd hear the note, like whether it was practice or jamming or live or whatever, no problem there, okay? I did play with a guitar player in my current band who I was telling him about this system that I got, and he said, I got it, but I don't use it. And I was like, well, why not? He seems to think that it affects his guitar tone. I don't know, maybe it does a little bit, but he wouldn't use it for that reason. So I couldn't argue with him there. And I have used this system live. Now, the problem I had with it live is I was in the first set. We do 3 sets a night. I'm in my first set, and I heard the signal drop out. Now, if I'm just practicing by myself or rehearsing with a band, or even just doing an informal jam with a band, and it drops out, I'm not worried about it. It comes and it goes, you know. A lot of people won't even hear it. But when I'm playing live, that could affect my playing. It could affect, you know, like a lot of times I'm given like a little solo spot, or I have to intro a song, and I don't want my instrument dropping out. I'm sorry, Boss, but for that reason, I don't use it live. But, you know, you see a little system like this here, you think, oh, what's that, about, you know, 70, 80 bucks maybe? Well, it's over $200, or around $200. And for $200, I really would have liked to use it live, but I'm not gonna. But still, the amount I use it for practicing and rehearsing and jamming, it's worth it to me. I really like not having that cord. I call it a leash. It gets me off my leash. I like that, and it's nice. So for that reason, I'm going to keep the system and I continue to use it. So with that all being said, I would recommend it if you're kind of in my situation where you use it enough to justify it, you know, for practice and rehearsing and jamming and stuff like that. But because of the issue here and not being able to use it live, I'm going to leave that up to you. I decided to keep it. I like it, but I would have liked to use it live, man. Okay, that's it, man. Guys, thanks for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it very much. And you keep jamming out there, all right? Take it easy, guys.